My 23 male girlfriend, 21 female, told me she was SA'd. Now I'm disgusted during sex. Where do I go from here? Plus, all updates. Me and my girlfriend have been together for around 9 months. I really love her and everything, at least in my eyes, was going great. She confided in me about her past use and abuse and drugs. 3 years ago, she was in the hospital due to an overdose and was kept in a mental hospital for a month or two. She was diagnosed with severe BPD. She got clean, was able to graduate high school, and got accepted into our local university where she met me. Our relationship started off great, but as the months went by, she got more comfortable with me and explained the trauma she lived. Getting SA for years by a family member, being SA'd twice by 2 different guys, being in 25-year-old men's cars while she was 12 years old. I understood why she decided to use drugs to cope. She promised me that her drug days having passed and that she was doing so much better. In all fairness, she was so much better. The past month or so, I noticed her mental health really falling. She would get flashbacks, burst out in tears, talk about her suicidal thoughts, and sometimes she would say things like, "What if I just did drugs again?" Followed by a joking, "I know it's bad." These things put me on high alert, but I was spending so much time with her, I know she wasn't using. Fast forward to the last 2 weeks. She hasn't been eating, hasn't been sleeping, randomly throwing up random bouts of rage and anger. Many of the signs of drug use are starting to present itself. She straight up stopped going to class. It's only been a month since the semester started, and I fear she's going to drop out so close to the finish line. I need serious help. It's destroying my mental health. I love her so much, but I can't be in a relationship with an addict, especially having overcome unalive attempt myself. This environment is causing me to slip back into the old self that I worked so hard to grow out of. I want to help, but I don't know how. I know if I leave her, she will unalive herself. No questions asked. I don't mean the typical threaten to unalive just to try and get me back type of person. I mean really unalive. I want to help, but I'm 23 years old. I'm not qualified at all to help someone like this full time. She's had so many therapists and even they aren't qualified. I've reached my breaking point. I can't stand there and watch a loved one die, but I also can't allow myself to be sucked in and destroyed as well. Update, 1 month later. I want to start by saying I in no way, shape, or form want to make her abuse about me. I just need help understanding my own emotions so I can be better for her. My girlfriend has had a long history with abuse her entire life, from having a father who was physically abusive and 2 family members repeatedly SA her. She recently started getting nightmares, so I asked what they were. She revealed to me she was gang SA'd multiple times over the course of a year and a half by a group of older boys when she was in school at 12 years old. She didn't go into a lot of detail, but she told me some of the things these boys did to her. They would pin her down, take turns raping her repeatedly, and at one point they filmed it. I started to feel sick to my stomach because some of the things they did to her. Pin her down, pull her hair, choke, spit, spank. These are the things she craves when we have sex. She told me that she wants me to do whatever I want to her whenever, and that me owning her turned her on. At first, I loved this. I enjoyed our sex, and she always enjoyed it as well. With the new information about her past, I'm starting to feel disgusted with her and myself. I don't understand my emotions. I'm truly terrified. Thoughts I know are wrong flood my brain. Did some part of her enjoy being SA'd? In that year and a half, were there moments where she would look forward to it? Did it turn her on? When we have sex, is she trying to recreate those moments and feelings with me? Is she envisioning it while we have sex? These are the thoughts that plague my mind. My entire view of the relationship has shifted and I don't know how to fix it. How can I ask her these things? Would she even be able to understand her OWE complex feelings about it? I feel horrible for feeling like this. It's destroying me. It's gotten to the point our sex life is affected. It'll pop up in my mind in the middle of sex and I'll go completely soft while inside her. A few days ago, it happened again. I was in the middle of sex. When she moaned, "Choke me," her eyes closed and all. That was the moment I instantly went soft. All I could think was, is she really in this moment with me or is she fantasizing about that? I wish I could control my mind. I know it's wrong to think that. Her bringing this up to me has brought out a complex set of emotions I've never felt before and don't know how to process. A part of me is glad she trusts me enough to tell me it's so amazing I can be that person for her. I love her very much. Then there's the other part of me that wishes she never did. She's extremely insecure about her body. After that moment a few days ago, I haven't had sex with her since. We used to have sex every other day minimum, and I just can't. I know it's eating her up inside. She sat me down and asked me if there was anything I could change about her body. What would I change? The moment she asked, I wanted to cry. I knew why she had asked, but I asked her why she would ask anyways. She said she felt like I wasn't attracted to her anymore. As much as I reassured her, I was still attracted to her. It wasn't enough. She broke down crying. This is the same girl who decided to lose 40 pounds when we started dating because she felt like she wasn't attractive enough for me. She tries so hard to be pretty enough for me, but she feels like it's never enough. With her confidence already at such a low, our sex life falling apart. Like this is the last nail in the coffin. Please any advice would be appreciated. Edit 1. I just want to apologize to all the victims who were hurt reading my post. I never wanted to hurt or offended anyone. I'm truly sorry. Having read through so many replies, many attacking me for what was said, others truly giving me solid advice, I realize both she and I need therapy. I'm going to be talking to her soon, and I'll be back with an update. I never realized just how deep trauma goes. I never realized my trauma also affected my thinking when it came to reacting to girlfriends' trauma. I was assaulted at a young age, and my response to that trauma is the exact opposite of hers. I became dominant and in control. Whenever my girlfriend would touch or even graze that area, I'd immediately move her hands away. My trauma took the form of aversion. Hers did not. Subconsciously, that scared me. I didn't understand her response to it. It was so different than mine. I still have so much to learn about SA, about myself, about trauma, how to heal and how to cope. Thank you to all the people who gave advice. We're just two people in our early 20s trying to figure out this weird thing we call life. I apologize for hurting anyone. I will keep you all updated. Edit. It's been 11 days since I posted this and a lot has happened. For starters, I want to thank everyone who suggested therapy.
My girlfriend was able to book a session with her therapist, which went really well. She got recommended a few books to read, as well as ways to help her cope with her complex BPD. Things seem to be getting better so far. I'm really glad. I'm still looking to find an affordable therapist. I have an appointment with one next week, so I hope it goes well, fingers crossed. After this post, me and my girlfriend had a conversation about everything. After explaining to her my thoughts,
she started to cry. At this point, I thought I absolutely messed up big time, but once she calmed down, she told me she felt really blessed and lucky that I would be concerned for her in that way. She said I easily could have taken advantage of it, but the fact that I am worried about triggering her to the point that I would go soft means that I care more about her well-being than my sexual gratification. I was really relieved that she understood me. A lot of tears and a ton of hugs later, we finally were able to lay everything out. Issues we had from the beginning that were never resolved, hurt feelings and things that were never addressed, were all finally talked about. All this was over the course of a week. A lot of emotions, and every day felt like the end of the world. I won't lie, there were moments I wasn't sure we would make it through. In the end, it made us stronger. Our relationship felt free. Like a weight was finally lifted off our shoulders, and it feels amazing. I know I still have a lot to learn. I'm willing to do what I can in order to be a better man for her, and I see that same commitment in her for me. We love each other very much. I know it's a journey for both of us, and while some of the lows can be really hard, I know in the end, it's worth it. We've come so far and grown so much as people over this past year. Whatever it is, I know we can get through it together. Thank you all for the kind words and support. I had considered deleting this post when it first got a ton of attention, but I can say this post and the events following it really helped save my relationship. It really was a domino effect in a good way. As for another update, I can't say for sure there'll be one. We're going to continue to focus on healing, bettering our relationship, and building out our future. I'm excited to see what the future holds for us. Thanks again for all the love and encouragement. What do you guys think? Let's discuss in the comments. Follow and like for more stories.